Blackhawks, number 5, written by Mike Costa, art by, the book says Cafu, but my online sources say Carlos Urbano, so I don't know, trust the book probably. Last issue we left off with Kanoichi and Titus fighting and beating each other up in the Blackhawks place, ultimately stopping Titus from whatever he was doing. Meanwhile, Canada and Wildman escape the Machine City and head out into space. This issue is pretty much entirely Canada and Wildman. Starts off with Wildman confessing like, hey, look, Canada, Kanoichi and I have had a thing going on, and I want to tell you because, and he's like, nope, I'm going to stop you right there because that door over there, this place is windowless. We have no idea what's out there, but that door over there, we need to open up and see if there's oxygen outside. And if you start unloading your deep, dark secrets on me, that's only going to jinx us. And he's like, well, I got to tell somebody. He's like, nope, I'm opening the door. So he opens up the door, and outside is a full-on just space station looking down on Earth. Full oxygen. They're totally fine. They got some anti-gravity because of centrifugal force. And they're just looking down on Earth. And immediately they get some watchdogs called on them, literal dogs, talking ones, of course. And they start attacking, or coming after them to attack them. But it doesn't take much for these two to overpower the dogs and take them out. So they approach a computer, a big terminal that's there, and Wildman starts asking Canada, like, hey, how did you know it would bring us up here? And he's like, I didn't know, but space has a smell to it, like a very distinct smell of fried steak and molten metal, and that ship that I passed by like an issue or two ago had that smell on it. So I figured it could probably get us there on its own with how advanced the society is. So just went ahead and took a shot in the dark. And anyway, now we're at a computer. This is your department. So we cut back real quick to the base, the Blackhawks base, the Erie. And basically they're like, man, that fight from last issue really tore this place up. It's going to take weeks to clean this up. And Lincoln's like, nah, I'll get it done in like 5 days. Be nothing. And Lady Blackhawk's like, well, all right, I'd like to see. Oh, hold on, getting a call. And it's Wildman up top. He confirms his identity. And it's like, yeah, no, we're up in orbit. Do you have any way to come get us? And Lincoln's like, no, actually, we don't have anything that can break the thermosphere. How do you think this is going to work? And he's like, I don't know. You have the UN behind us now. Maybe we can get some. And then the call gets interrupted by the mother mind thing. And it scrambles the communications. And basically Mother Mind's like, I am so disappointed in you. You know, I wanted to fold you into our network, but now I turned off the oxygen, and I turned off the heating, and I turned off the anti-gravity, and I got you out of orbit. So you're going to die one way or another. Okay. So as basically there's like, okay, but if you want to kill us, why not just kill us? You could just open up the airlock and kill us. And he's like, because I still want to offer you a choice. You can either, explode and walk out the vacuum if you want, and I can't stop you there. Or if you wait until that last minute when you're about to crash down, I'm going to flood this place with the nanosites, I think they're called, and you will maybe not completely, but mostly have your consciousness joined in with us. So you'll still live on in some way, shape, or form. Okay, cool, got it? And immediately Wildman starts laughing, and Mother Mind's like, excuse me? What was that? And he's like, oh, nothing. I just was reacting inappropriately because I'm faced with an impossible choice. Sorry. So she shuts off as they make their choice as to what to do. And Wildman's like, okay, I figured out what this satellite does. You remember that explosion that we couldn't figure out what the cause of the explosion was, like 3 issues ago? This was it. Turns out this place, instead of like a deadly space laser, is dropping, it's like a harpoon launcher. It's dropping tungsten rods that reach like Mach 10 by the time they hit the Earth. And as such, it causes a massive explosion with like no trace or energy. So because they have those weapons on board here, and because I left my high-tech glasses back at their city, I can lock on to their coordinates, upload their coordinates to this computer, and bomb them with their own bombs. And immediately he's like, all right, we've got a limited window. Let's do this right now. And Canada stops and he's like, wait a minute, hold on. Are we just going to obliterate an entire city of intelligent like minds? And he's like, you do understand that they're going to spread like a virus and consume all of humanity, right? And he's like, right, but like, do we have any right to say who, like, we were committing like genocide against these people? And it's like, I get where you're coming from, Canada, really do, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. So the mother pops back up and she's like, all right, so what's your choice? And it's like, yeah, we got an answer. Beep, presses the button, drops an orbital bomb pretty much. And mother is very upset about that, but it doesn't seem to matter because there is a massive explosion in Machine City. The comm shut down, and Canada's immediately like, that wasn't right. We did, that was morally gray, possibly black. And Wildman's like, look, we had to do our job. Anyway, been an honor serving with you. We're going to die here now. And Canada's like, well, hold on. You can talk to them again, right? And he's like, yeah, but I mean, we're crashing down to Earth. Not a lot they can do. He's like, well, we can get out of orbit now. And I'm a good pilot. So he comes up with this plan where they're going to basically do the thing from Interstellar with like matching the speed of the crashing space station with their own jet, and then they're going to like just rappel across it. I say that it takes 3 pages to happen, but like it's a good action scene. It's a good like tense moment there. So they get back on the ship and they get back to Blackhawks base. The first caption box here is I peed myself, because it's Wildman talking to Kunoichi on a hospital bed, and she's heavily sedated, but you know, he still tells her that he's going to see her tomorrow and is glad that they both made it out of this. And as he leaves, the lights turn off, and we see that because of the nanocytes inside of her, the mother mind is still able to communicate through her, and she's going to be the new pawn or whatever. And that's where we leave off. Solid. It's a good book. I really like that issue, possibly more than any of the Titus stuff that came before it, honestly. It just feels like a tight little story of, okay, we are trapped in space, and there's a machine who is taking us out of orbit. How do we deal with this immediately? And they kept it tight. They kept it nice and packed. They built off of what we established before. It's very well done. Art-wise, pretty stock standard. Nothing's really standing out as incredible. But it's, it's well done. I can tell each character is each character. So no problems there. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 7. I think it's very well done, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Blackhawks continues.